Hey guys, Movie Fan here to bring you something brand new for Cosplay Tuesday. But first, I want to tell you a little something I've been working on. Secretly, I've been making a costume for Batman Beyond. Now, I have made some progress, and maybe one of these days I'll show you some of the things I've done, but not today. Instead, I want to show you something that I just kind of discovered along the way that I think you guys could probably do to make yourself. And that would be the pouches that Terry McGinnis, aka Batman Beyond, wears on his utility belt. Now, as you can see, they're just white and kind of rectangular. That's pretty much the gist of it. And I've seen some good cosplayers come up with some pretty cool ideas. However, I recently came up with one that I think you might want to try. Now, when I first tried it, I basically just got some separate pieces and created this box shape. And as you can see, it doesn't look very good. It's pretty warped, and well, the glue didn't set right, at least not to my liking, because everybody always says you need to use contact cement, but well, anyway, this didn't work. However, I didn't stop yet. Instead, I took that design and I made a special template right here. Now, basically what I did was I got the old box design trick, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, or at least done this, in elementary school or high school or something. Basically, I just copied the main box, of course, here and here. I marked where the bottom and the top and the left and the right sides are going to be. And in a nutshell, all I did was just cut out this particular shape. I marked on the inside, I don't know if you can see here, where they're going to be, and I just carefully pressed them. That way I'll have it all nice and neat. I mostly did this just like this as a test run first for the obvious reasons, and once I was satisfied with that, I basically created ones just like this. When I did that, I basically cut out 4 of them the exact same way. Now before we do anything, I will tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need 5mm EVA foam. That's right, folks. For the first time ever, we're going to use EVA foam here. You'll also need a marker, a utility knife, a ruler or a carpenter square, a hot air gun, and a hot glue gun or super glue, white elastic, and Gutermann HT2 fabric glue. Now, I will be honest, I did cut this stuff out beforehand. However, I'll basically show you what we do from here. In a nutshell, just create this template. That's all you got to do. Just lay it on the EVA foam, trace it, and be sure to, of course, trace where your lines are going to go. Now, you're going to see firsthand how it goes.
Okay, here, I got this baby all set up. Now, it's already been cut up, but I want to demonstrate that for you. Basically what you do is this. You get a good straight edge, like in my case the carpenter square, very handy. And you get your trusty utility knife. You put it to about there, just barely a first notch. You rest it carefully on the square, then you just pull. Now you might, and I'm really saying might for a reason, want to pull out just a little bit more and then do it again. But the key thing, folks, is you want to do this where it'll just bend like that. You don't want to cut it completely. Now, obviously, you repeat the process for here, 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 and here. Now, I know you're hearing a lot of noise right now. That's my heat gun warming up right there. I got to let it warm up. And a word of advice: remove this when you get ready to use the heat gun, or else it's going to warp. It goes back to normal, but you don't need that thing causing any trouble. While we're waiting, I'm going to pull out some masking tape to hold it in place. Now, you could use duct tape, but masking tape is cheap, it's available, it's easy to rip off like that, because with duct tape, I find you usually have to get a pair of scissors. Now, I'm only pulling off multiple pieces just because, well, I find that if you don't pull out enough, you're in trouble. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay, my heat gun is all set, so I'm just going to warm this baby up. Let's start with, let's just warm up the entire thing. Now, I'm still a little new to this, so if I look like I'm doing it wrong, then please forgive me. Okay, and just flip that over. Alright. Now for the real trick, we're going to fold them on the right spots. Now, beforehand I found that if I did it by hand, it works, but it's a little tricky. However, I found a much easier way just to follow. I'm going to move my camera here. The edge of my table here. Alright, now I'm just going to fold that edge down like that. I'm just going to hold it in place. Couldn't be more simple, could it? I'm just going to fold that down. Now, for the record, you're probably going to have to, well, what am I saying? You're going to have to warm the stuff up again as you go along. But it's always good to start somewhere, and this is a good place to start. So just wait for that to cool off a little bit. It's already feeling cool in my hands. I didn't warm it up that much, just enough. Let's give it maybe a little bit more time there. Now this can be a little time consuming doing it like this because again you got to warm it, you got to cool it, you got to warm it, you got to cool it again. But as you can see, it's already starting to do that. You know what, while we're at it, why don't we just try to get on this while we're at it. In fact, it might be better to start with these edges first. Key thing is you want to get right in that seam that you just cut. And yes, I am quite aware that in a way I might be undoing some of the work I've done, but you know, it's okay. You just gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes it just takes a little time to get it right. And besides, the good thing about EVA foam, what I've discovered is, you know, you can reshape and just heat it up and do it again. I'm gonna get this baby nice and warmed up here. Okay, try that again. Let's try it with this side again. Get that. Okay, yeah, that feels a lot warmer, so now we're making some progress here. This downside might look a little warped, and that's okay. It's not going to be a problem. We just got to do what we got to do. It's just going to take a little time, a little trial, a little error. No big deal. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. And you see? Nice, clean edge. Again, it may look a little wobbly right now, but it's not going to be a problem when we get there. Okay, now I'm just going to carefully aim at this edge. My arm might be in the way, and I do apologize for that. Okay. Now let's aim low on that one. In fact, I'm going to stand this up a little. I've got a bit of a spot there. See? Yeah, here we go. You can't tell it, but I got this leaning right underneath the table, and I do have it kind of just, well, sitting up. And that's alright. This is just a little top piece I put on some time back. It's meant for my cosplay work. I only did it just to make it bigger, so it's no problem. The good part about this is it's a nice clean edge, so that helps a lot. Okay, we'll just wait for this to cool off a little more. Oh, and by the way, this is already cooled out, and the best part about foam is once it cools off, it'll stay right where it wants. The good part is you don't have to do anything about it. Now, when you heat it up, it will go whatever, I suppose. It depends how you do it, but it's not bad. I like this. I'll admit, I'm getting used to this EVA foam business because I like the way this is going. It's going very nicely. In fact, I'm actually quite impressed. It's cooling down. Let's see what it looks like now. Ah, see? We got two halves of a box right there. Isn't that lovely? All right. Now for a real trick. Let's try to see if we can, I'm going to turn this down a little. Let's see if we can, aim there. Okay, yeah, you see what happened? I practically just undid my work, but it's alright. It's alright. I'm just going to roll with the punches here. Just go up, 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 and this is where the tape comes in, folks. I get it up there, put it in place, and I tape it shut. Now, the heat might hinder it just a little, but it's not a problem. Once you get it there, it's going to hold. Okay, get it up there. Perfect. Yeah, see? Now I'll just wait for that to cool off a little more. Almost looks like a mousetrap, doesn't it? Feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. Sorry, couldn't resist. Alright, just making a little adjustment here. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, once again, we'll just wait for this to cool off a little, because I don't want it to, lose its shape. Now you see what the masking tape's all about. Now, again, you could do this by hand. Like, the first time I tried it with one of these guys right here, all I did was I just put it there, and I folded it, and I taped it. And that went well. It really did. It's just, I want a nice, cleaner cut. In fact, that's what you get out of this. That's the real bonus. Look at these clean cuts. Very nice, very nice. It almost looks like, well, like so. Like a leather that's been cut real nice. Now, what you do afterwards, that's your business. I mean, you could fill it in if you want to, or you could try to leave it as is. Me, I like it just the way it is, so I'm going to leave it that way. Because it looks like real fancy leather work. Besides, there's no harm in having a little something there. Okay, here we go again. Get the inside there, get the inside there, get the inside there, get the inside there. Oh, by the way, you definitely need to be careful when you do this sort of thing, because playing with a heat gun can be very dangerous if you don't know what the heck you're doing. It could be, well, it's called a heat gun for a reason, so enough said there. Okay, let me get that up there. Oh, and for the record, I kind of screwed up here for a second. I got one inside and one out, but that's no problem. It's no problem. It's an easy fix. Like I said, it's real simple to fix, so put that under there. Perfect. Now we'll just, I'm going to heat this up just a little bit more. Try and make it conform with me. Roll with the punches. No problem. Alright. Let me crank that up a little bit. Alright. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm just going to push that in. Push, push, push. Push and pull. And there we go. That's nice. I love it. Now I'll just get that where I want it. Perfect. Okay. That looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Isn't that nice? Okay. Now, you see, we're already halfway done, in a way. Now, there's going to be some gaps here, but that is perfectly all right. We'll just get it into place and do it again. All right. Nice little tape job. And I better grab a couple more pieces. I'm going to need them because I just ran out, and now we just need to do the top. And in fact, I better put one over here just in case. Who knows? Like I said, masking tape is cheap. It's available. You can find it everywhere, at any hardware store, at Walmart, whatever. So, it's no loss. Duct tape, on the other hand, could be a little pricey. And, again, duct tape, well, it has a tendency to stick, which is meant to. Masking tape, it's really easy to peel off, so it's not going to hurt anything. Looking nice, isn't it? Isn't that nice? Yeah. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to get that top piece. Okay, this is going to be an interesting challenge. Oh, and for the record, you might want to wear gloves when you do this, but I think I've got it pretty much all worked out. Let's work this right here. Come on, come on. Come to daddy. There we go. Yeah, doing nicely. Very good. Yeah, masking tape's coming loose, but again, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about. Okay, she's softening up. Okay. Now let's fold her over. Yeah, there you go. And that's just what I want. I wanted it to fold over. Okay, I'm going to pull this out a little. So I want that to sit like so. I may have overdone it a little on the heat, but it's okay. Like I said, it's easy to fix, easy to mold, easy to shape. It's no problem. The trick is to do it before it cools down a little too much. So, okay, got that. And get that in, that down. And let's put another one in there for good measure. All right, looking good. Now, believe it or not, all right, now, before we do anything else, what we need to do is turn off our heat gun. And one thing I love about this particular model, you just push the off button, it automatically starts cooling. I love that feature. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave this set overnight, maybe even a couple days, depending what kind of a work schedule you got. But, you know, sorry about that, folks. See what I mean about the masking tape? Comes off real easy. But again, that's a good thing. So, yeah, alrighty, it's starting to look like a pretty awesome pouch, isn't it? Now, the idea behind this is to leave it set for a little while, maybe a day or two, maybe a week, I don't know. Depends, once again, on your work schedule. And then when it's all nice and cool, this will hold its shape. So, we're just going to leave that for a while, and we'll come back to it. Okay, now, this has been sitting like this for a couple days now, so it's definitely hardened. And as you can already see, it's already got a good kind of a natural leather shape to it. Kind of gives this look of, well, just leather being sewn together, in a way. Almost like a wallet. And I think that's a good idea. I like it a lot better than just being a box. Now, I'm just waiting for my heat gun to warm up again. And while I'm waiting for that to warm up, I want to tell you a possibility you could try with this. I mean, now you could use contact cement, which, again, I don't really like. Of course, you could also use super glue, and that might actually work. But since I already made the first three with hot glue, I better just stick with what I'm doing. So, all right, now let's see, I got my hot glue all warmed up, so next thing is let's remove that tape, because I'm going to need as much room as possible to work. All right, and at the same time, you're going to see how this little method works out so well. Because, like I said before, once it cools down, it'll stay in that shape. And, well, you get to see it in action. Not too many videos have really brought that up. A couple here. Okay, 1 second. Alright, now tape's gone, and look at that. Still holds its shape. I can even just pull it out there and back to shape. Nice, huh? Alright, got my glue all warmed up, like I said. I better move this back because I don't want to get glue on that. Okay, now the real trick is to know exactly how I want this. Now beforehand I did it something like this, you can see. So I want to try and copy that once again. Alright, now let's put some glue right in there. Okay, now we'll hold it in place. Pull it back a little. And just for good measure, I'm going to smooth it out with my finger. Now, this might sting a little if you haven't done this. Or if it's super hot, and believe me, this stuff will get super hot on you. It is designed to. So, that will happen, but, you know, it's alright. After a little while, you kind of get used to it. I noticed my glue stick's getting a little short in there, so I better get ready. Alright, got my other glue stick. Alright, now let's try to carefully wedge this under there. I'm just going to work right here. Okay, and just gently ease that in there. Okay. Now, you may not get this 100%, and that's okay. I mean, it'll work. You just got to get it to hold. That's what matters. And on the bright side, when this glue kind of dries up, it almost kind of gives it a seam. So I like that. So, again, that's one of the things I like about this hot glue. Okay. Push that down a little more. Didn't quite get that, so let's do that again. That's one of the good things about hot glue. You can make mistakes, but it's not too late. Okay, just hold that there. Hold it. I'm trying not to squeeze too much. That's the real trick, because you don't want to goof that up by squeezing too much. Okay. Now I'll just give that a minute to adhere, which won't take too long. But, you know, when it cools down, that's when it's adhered. So, okay. That's one of the annoying things about hot glue. You get these stringy bits come out of nowhere. But it's alright. It just comes with the territory. Okay. Now, while that side is adhering, and I'm pretty sure it'll be just fine, I'm going to carefully work on this side. See, easy. Okay. Just lift that up and jam that in there. Okay, hold it in place like that. Yeah, I gotta get my hand in there to do that. Once again, smooth it out with my thumb or my finger, whatever's closest. Good thing about hot glue is when it does dry fairly quickly, cools down fairly quickly, and it's not that difficult to deal with. The key thing is to watch out for the nozzle itself. That really hurts. So, and yes, hot glue, well, it's hot glue, so enough said there. But, okay. Now I'll try and get the rest of it quickly. There we go, now we're getting some. Sometimes the real trick is getting that trigger pressure just right. And a key thing here, once we get this thing lined up, we will not be able to do exactly what we did on this side here. That is when we get to the others. Okay, it's a little warm, but as you can see, I'm rubbing my fingers here every time I do this. One, it helps cut down on the burn, plus it gets it off your fingers pretty quickly. So I want to keep that in mind for when you do stuff like this. Now, if you are sensitive to, you know, hot stuff, then don't do it. I mean, it's not worth the effort. But for those of you who can hack it, well, there you go. And also at the same time, if you do manage to get hot glue on your fingers, by accident of course, rubbing it, it cools it off very quickly and it gets it off you. But it works when you do it on your fingers. The palm, I would say you're in big trouble if you got it there, because, oh boy, you know. Okay, now let's try this way. Okay, all right, just jam that in there carefully. Like I said, it won't necessarily be the same here. So I'm going to do the best I can, get my finger in there. There we go. And I'll just hold that in place. Okay. And then just hold that down for a little bit. I don't know if you're seeing this too well, folks, and if you're not, I do apologize. But I got my finger right on the edge there. Yeah, and see, it's already starting to adhere. I need to give that a few seconds. While I'm doing that, I'll just clean up this masking tape here. I won't need that. Okay, looks like it's doing alright. Just put some more glue in my gun here, just in case I need it. I probably won't, but that's beside the point. Okay, put a little bit in here. I don't want to go too far because I do not want to break my seam. Okay, now just lift this lid here, lower that down gently. All right, that's great. Just rub that off a little. Good. Very good. And just rub it again. See what I mean? That was kind of caught on my thumb. I had a little trouble there. So, well, I see now that this back piece was a little misaligned. That was probably my fault, so it's alright. But the good thing about EVA foam is it's really easy to fix with a pair of scissors or a good knife. In my case, I'm going to wait a few seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to unplug my glue gun here because I won't need it anymore. Let's see. And a good sharp pair of scissors here. Okay. And I'll just lift this flap up here. Do a little cutting. And there we go. See? Now we have ourselves a nice little box. Or a pouch. Look at that. Came out great, didn't it? Now, I need to just do a few more things, but we're going to let this sit here until it's time. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is you want to get your elastic pieces cut out. And, well, in a nutshell, you just try and measure them the same length. I already have it marked, I don't know if you can see that here, but yeah, here we go, right where I want them, on both sides. And you're going to grab some special glue. Now, I tried this with hot glue and it held, however, the minute I put a thick belt loop in there, well, guess what happened? So, instead, what we need to do is use this. It's called Gutermann. It's fabric glue. It's only sold in Europe, and just a heads up, folks, this stuff is pretty foul smelling. This stuff is real bad. It's like working with contact cement, which, as I've said, I do not like working with, because, you know, this stuff stinks to high heaven, and oh my god, it is bad news. I think this stuff is actually pretty dangerous. The kind of stuff you don't want to work in front of an open flame, if you know what I mean. Not that I would recommend that anyway, but that's beside the point. Okay, now I'm just going to put that on here, put a healthy dab on there, on both sides, of course, and I'll just press it in, like so. There we go. Put that away before it gives me a headache. I don't need that. I don't know about you, but I don't like getting headaches. Okay, that's a little better. I'm going to put this in a place where it'll not stink up the joint, and, you know, when it dries, it'll be just fine.
And when you're done, you got yourself some Batman pouches. Now, you could make 6 altogether, because sometimes it looks like he's got 6 altogether. However, considering how large these guys are, I decided to go with 4. Because, well, in my case, I wanted them to be both functional and fashionable. Obviously, the fashion is a no-brainer here. The function, well, at the next Comic-Con, when I finally get this costume complete, I want to be able to put my phone and my car keys and, of course, my wallet in each of the pouches. So you can guess why I had to do it this way. My phone is actually pretty tall like this. My wallet can be pretty wide like that as well. So you can see what's going on here. Now, you could do something like with the flap here. You could actually possibly put some Velcro or something. Or you could put like a little snap back there and attach it. Or you could use those neodymium magnets if you want to. However, I felt that to use a snap would be a little complicated for this. At the same time, I don't want to use magnets because, again, I'm going to be putting my phone in here. And magnets and electricity, well, it's no secret that magnets can mess with electrical devices because they share the same wavelength, literally. So, yeah. If you want to try and do something like that, I say go ahead. And if this doesn't feel puffy enough for you, well, just blast it with the heat gun on the inside and try to pull it out a little. But I wouldn't recommend it. I think you're fine just the way it sits. Because, you know, it looks fine. And even more so, you could paint this. However, I think it has a more natural look to it. So, I didn't bother to paint it. I know it's crazy, right? But, you know, I think this is one instance where painting it would actually be a waste of time. And painting material. Because, sometimes I don't think you really need to. And you know what? I'm going to show you how well this works on the utility belt here. Now, I'm not going to necessarily get at the right angle here, but it's all right. Now I'm just going to slip the belt right into between the straps. Pull it out a little. Gonna have to pull, pull, pull. Getting past the buckle finally. There you go. It's all set. Now, just to make it look nice, here we are. Pretty cool, huh? I'm pretty sure it'll look even better once it's on me, but it'll be hugging my person here. I'm not going to stand up and put this on right now, but yeah. And my idea is basically I'll just be able to reach in and get my phone, get my wallet, get my car keys, and I think it'll be just fine because it's got a nice look to it. I love this edge, how it looks like it's like leather in a way. So yeah, I think we got a great thing going here, folks. And I suggest you give it a try. This is Movie Fan, signing off.